Today I'm going to take you through my PhD project, Outdoor Learning Towards a Sustainable Future, Lessons from Scotland. I'll briefly introduce you to the outdoor learning in the context of Scotland and then the wider world. I'll talk a bit about how my research has progressed from my MSc into my PhD and tell you a bit about what I've done over the last 8 months. Firstly, let's clear up what I mean by the term outdoor learning. So, outdoor learning is a process by which educators, students and others learn in an outdoor setting. It can include anything from primary school children using a bit of chalk to do maths on their playground to a group of first-year geologists going to Thurso. So, a bit of everything really. It's a broad term which encompasses many fields which you'll all be familiar with, such as outdoor education, field studies and environmental education. And these are just a few of the many fields. Scotland has a really rich history of outdoor learning. Peter Higgins at the University of Edinburgh identifies 3 factors which have enabled it to develop as the world's leading location for outdoor learning. So he classes these 3 factors as geophysical and climatic, the distinct cultural identity of Scotland, and a separate education system from south of the border. However, it should be noted that in the last 30 years, we've seen a pervasive decline in outdoor recreation worldwide. The popular author Richard Liu terms this nature deficit disorder, and I'll refer to this again a bit later. Nevertheless, the outdoors and outdoor learning have a variety of benefits for personal well-being, education, and wider society. Last year, the Faculty of Public Health drew together over 100 studies from across the world to outline the positive impacts of time spent outdoors on health and well-being. With regards to education, outdoor learning provides an integrating context for learning and enables participants to put together knowledge from across disciplines, and it also engenders critical thinking. Additionally, it adds the element of place to learning, providing a real-life context to it. Outdoor learning also has the potential to reconnect participants with other human beings and nature, tackling social inequalities and environmental unsustainability. Finally, it's all these characteristics that give outdoor learning the potential to facilitate transformative learning, which Sterling defines as learning that enables participants to re-evaluate their pre-existing beliefs. This is essential if we're going to make the transition to a sustainable future. So this is how my research fits together. I spent much of my MSc trying to identify how outdoor learning contributes to sustainable development. You can see here the areas highlighted in cerise, sort of purpley colour, are the benefits we've just discussed. For my PhD, I'll be examining the mechanism by which outdoor learning contributes to sustainable development, so how it promotes transformative learning. I aim to identify, evaluate and communicate this. So these are my research questions as they stand at the moment. So firstly, how can outdoor learning and transformative learning contribute to a sustainable future? How does outdoor learning create opportunities for transformative learning? And how effective are strategies to increase the use of outdoor learning for sustainability in 3 to 18 education, higher education and lifelong learning? So what have I been doing over the last few months? Firstly, I've been working on my literature review. And my literature review is going to be very integral to help me answer my first question. During my MSc, I built up knowledge of just a single area of literature on outdoor learning. And now, over the last few months, I've been identifying bodies of literature I need to synthesize to argue that outdoor learning has much to contribute to sustainable development. So this is taking the popular literature, which people argue doesn't have a strong enough evidence base, and then putting the evidence base behind it that it needs. I'm going to incorporate older literatures on significant life experiences with newer, grown bodies of literature on transformative learning and behaviour change. I've also strengthened my understanding of educational theory and practice by taking taught modules in these areas, and I will use all of this to inform my literature review. I've I've also been scoping a variety of qualitative methods to answer my second and third research questions. I was lucky enough to get a research contract with Learning and Teaching Scotland to extend their outdoor learning database. While undertaking this research, I was able to use questionnaires and semi-structured interviews to deepen my understanding of the state of outdoor learning in Scotland. I was able to examine the gaps between policy and practice, engage the understanding of outdoor learning and sustainable development education in local government and non-governmental organisations. And I've actually found this at present to be quite limited, despite efforts by the Scottish Government and their educational arm, Learning and Teaching Scotland, to educate about this. Education about outdoor learning and sustainable development is progressing, arguably so in schools, but comparing that to local authorities and non-governmental organisations, it's quite sort of touchy. I've also been co-facilitating a group undertaking the John Muir Environmental Award. Participants will engage in a series of outdoor experiences and reflect on them. The idea to do this was based on Tanner's work on significant life experiences, and then the more recent WWF Natural Change projects, both which examine how outdoor experiences aid the formulation of environmental and wider sustainability values. I'm exploring how methods such as participant observation, focus groups, semi-structured interviews, and perhaps microethnography could be used to understand motivations for engaging in outdoor activities and to also ascertain if transformative learning, if opportunities for transformative learning have been created. Finally, I've been trying my hand at curriculum design. So I've been doing a module with Saltire, and part of that you become accredited with Higher Education Academy. You have to design a module for this university. So I've deepened my understanding of theory and practice of how do we actually negotiate the practicalities of implementing outdoor learning for sustainable development education in higher education. So that's really what I've been doing over the past few months. I'm hoping to turn my LTS work into a paper. I'm hoping to look at how we can sort of turn the John Muir Award experiences into a more structured experiment to get some data from it. And yeah, that's about it. But thank you very much for listening.